What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2, and we're going to be going over day two. I have a little bit of a difference of opinion when it comes to day two, especially with Cassie's testimony. I don't think they've been making strong arguments. Again, I feel like this is going to be comparable to the situation with Tory Lanez where we're getting misinformation, but I don't think we're getting misinformation. I just don't think what they're charging Diddy with it has anything to do with Cassie's testimony, and that's pretty sad. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna play the intro. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it or fight about it. Y'all might want to fight me. I don't know. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2, bring you another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Shout out to my big bro, Casey. Shout out to Stephanie. Thank you for holding it down for the Mod Squad. What's up, Dolores? What's up, Sharice? Who else we got here? What's up, Kita? Kita, I am happy that you said that. Okay, you think just like how I'm thinking. As of now, this case is lacking in the RICO charge, in my opinion. Right. It may be they're slow walking it, trying to get us to the point, because as I understand, Cassie is supposed to be testifying for 4 days. Y'all, this is a lot. So this is only day one of her testimony. So we still got 3 more days. I don't know if it was like 4 additional days or this counts as the 4, but it's going to be long, as I'm understanding, which I expected this to be a long situation. But don't forget, Cassie is pregnant. Like, I heard that she was due within a couple of days. I have not confirmed, when her baby is due, but from what I've been hearing is that she could be due at any minute. So what happens if she goes into labor? I know this has to be very stressful for her going through this whole thing. Maybe they should have pushed it back. Now, I know Diddy and his lawyers originally wanted to push the date back, but maybe they should have pushed the date back because of Cassie. I mean, she's pivotal in this case. They need Cassie. Like, I feel like with everybody else, they could have kind of, we don't really need their testimony, or we don't need them as witnesses. With Cassie, she's a big chunk of this. And let's be honest, Jaguar Wright likes to say she's the reason why everybody's going down. No, it's really Cassie. What's up, Winnie? What's up, Joy? Hello. By Cassie taking the stand. She just put the nail in Diddy's casket. Okay, you think she put the nail in it. Okay. And again, I knew this was going to be a situation where we're going to have difference of opinion. Now, am I saying that what Diddy did to Cassie is okay? I'm cool with that. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, based on trafficking, racketeering, what was the third count, you guys? I forgot the third count. Whatever the other account is, like, that's what I'm stating. I don't think this really is showing that. Or at least the prosecution isn't doing a great job of proving that. What did Quentin say? They want Diddy, and the jurors already made up their mind. Her showing how she said no, and he made her, how she was afraid. Them paying escorts and videos they are about to show. Okay, so you think they're going to get to the point soon. And granted, what you said is not what I feel like they did. I feel like, if anything, they just showed that he was a big freak. What's up, Grandma Joy? If we wanted to know that Diddy was a big old nasty freak, that was confirmed. But again, being a big old nasty freak, is that criminal? No. I feel like there should have been more emphasis on, hey, she signed a 10-year record deal. No music ever came out from that record deal. There was one album, right? One album. That's when she was with Ryan Leslie. But as far as the other 9 albums that were supposed to come out, none of it came out. I think a song here or there, and then Cassie said a mixtape. But other than that, nothing ever came from that deal. And he literally had her in a contract where no music was ever going to come out. And I feel like that needs to be more heavily put into that. I don't know if you guys see my video earlier today. Because my video earlier today, I even said that I feel like Gina is a stronger witness than Cassie. And I hate to compare the two because both are two different situations, right? But on the same lines. Now, I had did a review, and I don't know if you guys watched it. So for some of y'all, it's gonna be like AT2 already seen your. Well, some people didn't, so we're gonna play it again. Tasha K did this video about 5 years ago in 2019, right? Where she was talking about the Lori Harvey situation. She was talking about Gina. Remember, she had interviewed Gina a while ago, and Gina had told this horrible story about what Diddy did to her and all that, right? All the abuse. And then she was all like, oh, well, Gina and Diddy, they reconciled their, he paid her, blah, blah, blah. And she showed a contract from Combs Enterprises where it says that she was supposed to be a marketing coordinator. But the thing is, they put her on payroll, but she wasn't actually working. Now, that is some RICO racketeering. You're funneling money from your companies to pay your girls. I don't want to call them escorts, but to pay your girls. Now, that more or less is proving something. And I think this is why I'm saying the prosecution isn't making a strong argument, because everything that I've been reading is about how nasty Diddy is. And we're going to talk about that. We'll get into that later, but I want to give you guys at least my interpretation of what they should be showing. So shout out to Tasha K. I'm going to go ahead and bring up this video real quick. Oh, and then it got our favorite, Gene Deal. You see him?
And she said, yes, she had saw that scar and asked Diddy about that scar. And he told her that he got that scar from having surgery. Okay, so the scar allegedly exists. Okay, according to both Gene Deal, his ex-bodyguard, and his ex-side piece, Virginia V. And Virginia V also told me that he did beat her ass only when he was high and he came down off of that high. Okay, here's the picture. And she also said that when Diddy was high, he wouldn't let her ass go to sleep. Okay, so he would get so high, he would keep her up in the process. Now, she claimed she wasn't getting high. Okay, her words, not mine. And I told her the reason, if this was true, if Diddy did get so high, he didn't want her to go to sleep. I said the only reason he didn't want her to go to sleep because allegedly, according to her, he got high off Molly, coke, and pain pills. And when he got so high off the pain pills, he didn't want to go to sleep. And I told her the reason he didn't want to go to sleep is because he thought that his ass wasn't going.
And Cassie said today in court that, she made him take the same kind of drugs that Tasha is listing. So crazy how that correlates to what Cassie was saying, right?
Wake up, okay? I done been around a few pill addicts, and that's the first thing they do. They get high and make you stay up with they talking ass all night because they ass done took too much, and they know that it's a possibility that they ass ain't gonna wake up in the morning, okay? So that's exactly what I think happened. But Virginia V also told me per your request, okay? Because I read them comments from the last interview that she did, and y'all kept asking if Diddy was gay. And so I asked her, was Diddy gay? And she said, per her words, that she had attempted to play with his ass a few times. He aggressively knocked her off his ass. Okay, that's her words. So she answered the question y'all begged me to ask. Okay, because we didn't get it.
Real quick, as I understand, the prosecution has not came out and said that anybody is hiding or the witness is, not communicating. I feel like that was a thing probably put out by the defense to like confuse the people. Remember, they had put out there that, Cassie was the one in possession of all the videos, and the video where Cassie was getting beat. CNN deleted the initial video, and now we don't have the original video and it's been deleted, and so you can't use. They were trying to get that whole Cassie beaten video thrown out or whatever, and that was found out to be a lie. So I think the witness disappeared. I think that's probably a lie too that they're putting out there
in the interview, or y'all ass didn't want to listen because she took too long to answer the damn questions in the interview. Now, if you must know, Miss Virginia V, after doing that interview and y'all sent her such emotional prayers and everything, y'all was in her inbox, comments and everything like that. And so you must know, since you guys were very concerned, and I do owe you an update, Miss Virginia V has since returned to Diddy for a check, okay? And it was a rather big check, a fat ass check. It was a check so big that, let me tell you, Virginia V's ass is originally from like Montana, Utah, one of them places up there, okay? And she couldn't move, all right? And so Diddy decided that he would put her on his payroll, okay? Because she was a side chick, a quiet side chick, and took the ass whoopings happily for so many years. And so he decided, according to her, that he would make her an employee of his company, okay? But she didn't have to do no work. All she had to do was keep getting her ass whooped and keep screwing on when he.
Here we go. And this is what I mean, you guys. This was the stronger argument showing here that he will hire you as an employee, but you're not actually doing work. So right here, Virginia, that's her real name, but Gina was hired to be a marketing coordinator. Now, does Gina have the skill set to be a marketing coordinator? Did she go to college? Did she go to school? And then who is Tariq Brooks? You know what? I didn't even look into that. I need to Google Tariq Brooks because, you know, would he be able to say, oh, yeah, Gina reported to me. She worked with me. Wow. I wonder what Cassie's contract looked like. You know? What did Cassie's contract look like?
He wanted whenever he came in town to give us some shit that he got from another bitch, okay? And so she told me that he gave her $5,000 a month, and the only reason she came forward in the first place, but y'all already knew that, is because he cut her off. He cut her off exactly 2 months.
Exactly. Zinga, the way that the prosecution is making it, it's more like a DV case. It's more like some kind of civil case than federal. Like federal, we're expecting, and I feel like it's a little racism too, but people are comparing this Diddy situation to Jeffrey Epstein. And it's not the same thing. It's not. And I'm not pacifying as, oh, well, Diddy's not that bad. He's not a Jeffrey Epstein. But at the end of the day, he's not. Two different people. Jeffrey Epstein, oh, yeah. Without a doubt, without a question. As far as the Diddy case right now, as we see it being a federal case, I don't see Rico and all this other criminal activity. Like, I know there's things like, for example, one thing that they haven't really mentioned was the guns, you know, scratching off the serial numbers and stuff like that. They haven't really mentioned that yet. Maybe that's coming a little bit later, but there are criminal things there. Don't get me wrong. You know, the paying for prostitutes and all that. We see that, but this still seems a little like a DV SA case. And I'm not saying that those things are okay. Let's be clear. I'm not saying those things are okay, but on the level of federal, has that been proven? That's my argument, you guys.
Before the interview, so she wasn't getting that $5,000 a month after he moved her to Vegas. And so when he cut her off from getting that $5,000 a month from his marketing company, because that's where the check was coming from, she had to get on welfare. Therefore, she had to find a publicist to get her game up, to get her some endorsements, but that didn't work out too well. And so sis also decided to hire Gloria Allred. And so when she was gearing up to sue, the olive leaf extract can help lower your blood pressure, clear eczema, and fight against autoimmune diseases, and so much more. Visit She claims, okay, that her and Diddy all of a sudden, okay, had this emotional talk and it was very deep and they decided not to talk about each other anymore, okay? And I said to myself, when she said this, I said, why would y'all agree not to talk about each other anymore when you were the only person doing the talking? Nobody knew about you until you posted them damn videos. And so I knew at that moment, and she knew that I knew that sis got that check, okay? And now Mrs. Virginia V. Diddy's ex has now moved to LA to be closer to Diddy, and she is not working. She is only attending acting school. Sis has now moved on up because I'm trying to figure out how in the hell did she move to LA being on welfare in Nevada, Las Vegas to be exact. And now all of a sudden, sis has been picked up and moved to LA. And after retaining and firing Gloria already, now she is living it up in LA. And she told me that she's only going to school and attending acting classes. And I'm thinking, how in the hell are you affording all of this living in LA and your ass was on welfare in Las Vegas, okay? And so at that moment, I knew that she was probably allowing Diddy's big balls, okay, and short peen to come knock her up while she runs through that little $2 million. And when that $2 million is gone, because sis done signed that NDA, she ain't gonna be able to tell nobody nothing, okay? They ain't really gonna give a damn because she done reneged on everything that she done damn said, okay?
Now, we've been talking about Gina. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, but we've been talking about Gina the last couple of days. Do we think that Gina should testify in this case? Really, it's not left up to us, but do we think that she should testify, or would she be willing? Because I kind of think about this with the Tory Lanez situation. Remember Kelsey's Megan best friend? Remember she got immunity, right? Originally, when she talked to the police, she shared everything. She was the one who said Tory was the one who pow-powed Megan, right? Then when the case went down and she had to testify, she was like, oh, I don't really remember I don't remember. Would that be the same situation? And maybe that's why we're not possibly going to hear from Gina. Maybe Gina will feel like, oh, I have amnesia and I don't really know what's going, like, I feel like that would be the same situation. So should we hear from Gina when it comes to that? Probably not. I feel like there's probably been a lot of people that they've been wanting to interview or speak with, and they probably were like, oh yeah, I'm down to do it. And then they got a little shaky, or their details were a little wonky because possibly they're one, afraid, two, want to protect Diddy, and three, they could possibly be working in his favor, you know? So you never really know. The whole play dumb, right, Addicted, the whole play dumb thing. So they are in a really tough spot. And Gina is not the best talker. And I'm going to even say something too that's probably going to hurt people. Cassie is not really the best speaker either. Like, when I think about it, what does Cassie sound like? Her speaking voice. I don't remember her talking too much. Like, if you heard Cassie's voice, and I'm not talking about singing, right? I'm just talking about her voice. Do you know what her voice actually sounds like? If you gave me 10 girls lined up and I had to guess who voice matches who, I wouldn't be able to tell you how she sounded. Think about what I'm saying, you guys. I know some of y'all probably like, AT2, how dare you? You're victim shaming. And y'all are not paying attention to what I'm saying. Another person who has made a compelling argument better than the prosecution is Tiffany Red. Shout out to Tiffany Red, singer, songwriter. You know, she spoke out when this first went down, how she wrote for Cassie. Cassie made some amazing music that never seen the light of day. And she basically stated that she feels like her and other people were used to keep Cassie trapped. There was this 10 album deal that, and all this music that was being made, but nothing was put out. It was almost like, okay, we're going to put Cassie in the studio and have her make music so we can show on paper that, yeah, you know, we over here making music, we doing X, Y, and Z, but no music was ever going to be put out. And a lot of times in the music industry, if your music don't get put out, you don't get paid, and they ain't got to pay you. So these songwriters written all these songs, produced all this music, and not getting paid for any of it. And Tiffany says something. I'm gonna go ahead and shut up and let, I know y'all like AT2, shut up and let's listen. But who creates music to never see the light of day? Who does that? Nobody. So let's pull it up here. All right, here we go.
Warm. That man had so many of us working. And like, as she said earlier in her testimony, she was in a 10-album deal. So there's no reason for anybody who was writing or producing for her to ever believe that they were working on a project that wasn't going to come out, because she had a record deal and had already had hits. She was signed to Bad Boy, and she had one of the biggest names in the game behind her, which was Diddy. The reality is he used us to trick her without us even knowing. I didn't know. How would I know? And why would I spend the prime time of my songwriting career writing for a project that wasn't going to come out? How does that make sense? It doesn't. Everybody was working on that project. I remember one time being at the studio with Cass and just like sitting there and going through her hard drive and pulling up different records from just so many different people. I mean, she worked with everyone. Who would work with everyone on something that's not coming out? Nobody. That doesn't make sense. Cassie has so much incredible music that y'all never heard. So far beyond anything that I wrote. She recorded music for years and years and years and years and years. And I see a narrative in the comment sections and some of these, you know, the people reporting on the shit. I see like, she was fame hungry. No, she was an artist who had already had a hit record, who was excited about her career. Like, let's not forget that Cass was signed to Next Selection, which was Ryan Leslie's company, and he's the one who did Me and You, and he did that joint venture with Bad Boy, and Me and You was released and the song went crazy. Like, let's not treat this like she was some groupie, because she wasn't. She was an artist. Ooh, it's day 2 and this shit's already pissing me off. My chest is like warm.
Okay, I can go ahead and end that right now. All right. So as you know, I explained to you guys, that's what Tiffany said. She basically felt like, you know, all this stuff was supposed to come out, all this music. Now, again, a lot of you guys were saying people get shelled all the time. And yes, I understand that. However, she was sleeping with the boss. Not too many sleep with the boss and then still get their album shelved. And the thing was, he liked her look. He never cared about her music. Because Cassie's album did go platinum, and Me and You was a multi-platinum song. That guarantees at least another album. A platinum record and a multi-platinum song, at least at minimum, guarantees you another album. Mind you, she was on a 10-year record, like 10 albums. That's a lot of albums, you guys. 10 albums. So what she was going to do, what y'all need to do is hit that like button, What she was going to have to do, or what she did basically, was sign her life away. Sign her life away. Like, those are the kind of contracts that you can't even get out of because you got to produce so many albums for the record label. Remember, Megan Thee Stallion was in a similar deal. Remember? That was the whole thing with what's his name? Carl Crawford. When she was with him, some of her EPs that she put out, they're like, oh no, those don't count as albums. Those are extended plays, you know, those are EPs. Those don't count. So Cassie would have been in a situation where she'd be locked in with Bad Boy. And let's be honest, what successful Bad Boy artist can you name that's still relevant? Is Bad Boy, is French Montana still even signed to Bad Boy Records? I can't name one. And unfortunately, some of the successful ones are not even alive. Biggie, Craig Mack. If we're going to talk about it. You know, Black Rob. Technically, Mary was signed to Uptown Records. That would be that. Andre Harrell gets the credit for that. Andre Harrell ain't even around. You know? When you think about it, it's like she was young. She didn't know any better. Somebody offered you. And, you know, one thing that's interesting is that I wonder with the 10 album deal, what was the money that she got up front? Because usually when you get a record deal, the record label, they give you a certain amount, but it's really a loan. Like whatever you make off of the album, you have to pay that first, and then you get the residuals from it. So what if he gave her like, I don't know, I'm just going to guess, like 10 mil or something like that, right? Gave her 10 mil and knew, no, I'm not even going to say 10 mil. Maybe like 4 or 5 mil. Knew that, okay, well, this one album, she can't pay this off. She's still indebted to me. So I'm going to give her this large lump sum of 5 mil. She'll forever be indebted to me. And now she got to put out these 10 album deals. But the thing is where the RICO comes into play is showing that, hey, Cassie was never going to put out any music. This guy locked her into a contract to make her his sexual conquest and make her do this freaky X, Y, and Z shit. Make her do these freak offs. That's what her job was, you guys. And maybe I'm jumping ahead and I'm not liking how slow the prosecution is taking, but hopefully they watching my video right now. Well, no, they can't watch my video, right? But maybe they're going to prove like, hey, he locks people into contracts, but never produces any music. He never planned on putting out any albums or anything like that. He just wanted to use Cassie for all his sexual conquests and all his fantasies that he had. 82 Phil Robinson. It's sad when you think about it because usually people like this who are in powers of position, they know that they can control you and make you do things that you don't want to do. They know that, hey, I can promise you the moon and the stars, but you're going to have to do this first. You're going to have to oh, he just passed away. Oh, is that why you guys? Oh, wow. Okay, I was wondering why you were saying that. Okay, that's why. Oh wow, that's crazy. Um, while I looked this up, but what my point is, people will always try to say like, "Hey, you have to do this. You have to do more." Okay, well, you did this. Now you have to do something else. Like you're always going to literally try to um prove yourself or have to do the extra mile in order for you to get a little piece of something. And that little piece of something was like, one day I'll have my music. One day my music will be out. And unfortunately, her music was never going to come out. Never. I hate to put it like that, but her music was never going to come out. She was under the belief that her music was going to come out, but it was never going to come out. There's a couple of things with this case that it has to be hard for people to hear, and especially if you've been a survivor or you've been in a situation that has dealt with DV, because this is something to where with Cassie reliving it, people who have been affected are also reliving it. So with that being said, Cassie has to relive all of this. And I feel like some of the disconnect in the testimony might be because of this. I did some embarrassing shit that I'm ashamed of. I want to put it out there, but I don't want to, I don't want to say it all. And I feel like that's why we're getting a little disconnect, because I feel like almost from what I was reading, the prosecution was trying to lead her into saying like, I felt forced to do this and I couldn't leave, or if I did, I was threatened for my life, blah blah blah, more into leading to that. It was more like she would answer the questions, but it seemed like she was timid because she didn't want to relive it again. Because I'm not gonna lie, it is embarrassing. Who wants to sit on a stand where her husband, mind you, he probably heard some of this, but I don't know if he heard everything in detail. You're recounting that people were pissing on you. You're recounting stories about how you had to perform in front of another man, and you ordered escorts off of Craigslist, and you're just sleeping with all these people, and all the people, like all the escorts, and some of them weren't even escorts, they were just strippers or dancers. They all had big dicks because Diddy wanted you to hire people with big dicks. You literally are regurgitating all this stuff from your memory, like that. And she's pregnant. Not just she's pregnant. Let me stop sharing my screen for a minute because I just seen a baby up there and I was like, I don't feel comfortable talking about this with a baby up there. Hold on, let's change it. But you're reliving all this trauma. And that's why I was saying that this thing is more or less coming off like Diddy was a bad guy and this relationship was horrible, rather than racketeering through his company, drugs and all this other stuff. That point is not being driven home. This seems more like just a regular criminal case that could have just been picked up by the state rather than, or not by the state, I mean, by the police. That's what I mean by the argument isn't really being made for me at this point. At this point, tomorrow, or some of y'all, it's already today. Y'all could feel, I could feel differently and be like, okay, now I see where they're going. But this slow build up that they're doing, it's not, they're not driving it home for me. What's up, Dazzle? Dazzle even said it doesn't come off as criminal yet, yet at all. Yeah. Let me ask you guys this, because I hate to be the only one getting dragged. Put a 1 in the chat if the prosecution is making a strong argument in this case. Put a 2 in the chat. You need to see more, or hell to the no. We don't need no Allie Carter, no Jaguar Wright, no I'll Be Unsure, no Courtney Burgess. We don't need any of the conspiracy. They let any of those conspiracy theorists on that stand, it's over. Any of the conspiracy theorists, I was about to say chemists, any of the conspiracy chemists, damn, I said chemists again. Conspiracy theorists, get on that stand. Diddy is coming home. Diddy is coming home. Also, the funny argument about it, notice none of the conspiracy theorists, have they been called in or questioned yet? And, you know, we're still early in the case. Possibly they could be called in for their testimony. But, you know, were they even questioned by the feds? Was any of those conspiracy theorists listed in the lawsuit, the federal indictment, not those civil cases? We all know the civil cases are what they are, right? But the federal indictment, have any of them been listed? I'm giving you my good ear. This is my good ear right here. I don't know if I got a little wax in it, but you know, I don't hear y'all saying nothing. Hello. They stayed outside the court stuff to be an interview, right? Now, one of the conspiracy theorists is there, right? But I don't think they made it inside that courtroom, right? Hello? Did they make it inside the courtroom? No. Why they got mad at people got mad at me because I said, where are all the people who said Diddy did something to them? And you know, and now I've been heavily crucified because I said, hey, if the feds don't pick up some of these civil cases, it's going to be hard for me to believe them. And I'm still underneath that impression as well. Like, the feds didn't pick up a lot of these different civil cases, only a couple of them. Now, why didn't the feds pick those up? Now, is it fair for me to say that all the civil cases were lies? No, I can't say all the civil cases were lies. However, what it does prove, those civil cases that did not get picked up by the feds, they're not strong arguments. If they were strong, like, for example, Cassie is basically the root of all this whole federal indictment, right? That means that she had a strong case. I have not seen Adria case get picked up in this. Is Adria testifying? No. That's just me being honest, you guys. AT2 Airport Fund March with Hey, if y'all want to send me to New York, yeah, go ahead and donate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lamisha testifying. I don't see Lamisha there, but again, Lamisha didn't file a lawsuit, even though she pretended to be the lady that we later found out was a white woman. You know, I did tell you guys that a lot of that misinformation that was being put out and all the conspiracy theories, they were going to come back to haunt us. They were. Because I remember even talking before the case started, and I was telling you guys, like, I didn't see anything that mentioned minors in the federal indictment. And some people were like, oh no, no, it is in the federal indictment. They added it, blah, blah, blah. I checked it again, you guys. There are no minors in the federal indictment. Those are the civil cases, not the federal case. Two different things, you guys. Did Cassie get to keep the money that she got from before? The $30 million? Yeah. So here's the thing. Cassie still keeps the money that she got from the settlement, right? Because that has nothing to do with the federal indictment. Once the feds pick up a case, all that shit is thrown out the window. Now, can she go outside of the court system and talk about details and stuff like that? No, she can't do that. However, in court, if they are asking her questions, yes, she can answer and she can be honest about it. Yo, I wonder if Diddy regrets settling with Cassie. I wonder, does he regret it? But really, did he have a choice? Because she sued all the companies and the businesses. So more than likely, they were like, oh yeah, we need to clean this shit up and settle this shit. So did he really have a choice? But, you know, it kind of has me thinking, should they had settled now that we know all of this is going down? Doesn't break the indie. Yeah. But her husband will clean her out after this case and oh no, Kathy, no, Kathy. Y'all think Alex is gonna bounce on her? Oh, I didn't think about that. Yo. I hope not. I hope not. They got 2 children. Like, nah, I hope not. Okay, his mom. Yeah, Lily, you're right about that. He has talked about his mom was a survivor too. Right. They were brilliant for suing the business. Remember, I said that power dynamic. He's the employer and she's the employee. And again, the prosecution needs to make that argument. I'm sorry. I just feel like they should have laid it out all on day one. Them taking forever to get to the goddamn point is making us rest. Because again, that lady pregnant. And you expect her to testify for the rest of this week, right? Cassie is expected to testify or be on stand for the rest of this week. This woman is pregnant. She can literally have her baby tonight. And then what you gonna do? You gonna force her to come down there after she had it? No. Every minute that they have with Cassie is precious. Like, they need to go ahead and nail that and drive it home. They're even say Alex might testify as well too, her husband, because they didn't want him initially in the courtroom, but they did allow him to be in the courtroom. Now, I heard there's some kind of situation that happened with Alex. I know there have been rumors that he stole Cassie from Diddy and all that. So we'll find out more about that and what he knows. But don't forget, he was Diddy's trainer, so he knows something. Ooh, Cassie needs to name the baby Justice. I actually like that. Baby Justice. I like that. Yeah, that would be dope. Where's the sex trafficking, kidnapping, and RICO charges they're trying to charge him? And that's one of the arguments, Queen. That's one of the arguments. I'm not saying that anything that he has done is okay, but as far as showing the trafficking, RICO, and all that, that hasn't been proven yet. Now people are telling us we need to wait, Queen. They saying like y'all jumping ahead. It's only day 2, so we need to wait. But I just felt like that argument should have been made quickly, as this woman is pregnant. And I'm just thinking too, you gotta feel bad for her because she's literally have to testify. This is stressful for her. She's pregnant right now. Like, y'all don't need to have her up there for the next 4 days. Like, y'all need to hurry up and get to the point so she can go about her life. That's point already knows. Oh, that's the point. Alex already knows all the stuff. He wasn't surprised by anything he heard today. I hope he wasn't. And kudos to Alex. Like, he has to be a strong man to be able to hear all this. And I'm not taking anything away from Cassie. Obviously, Cassie is strong, but yeah, he has to be strong to hear, because as a man, you feel helpless that you can't do anything to help your woman, right? Men, we're supposed to be the protectors. So right now, he can't protect Cassie like he would want to protect her. And Cassie's probably hurting. I mean, she was crying in court, obviously, reliving all of this. So it's mentally draining for everybody. Why do you think he did not get bail? That's another thing. They have not really shown that Diddy is violent to his partners, right? But maybe that's coming later, as well as him, threatening people. We know that, and I don't know if Kid Cudi is testifying, but the whole blowing up Kid Cudi's car and stuff like that, that has not came into play, but maybe that. Also him intimidating witnesses and intimidating people and trying to pay people off. That's the other thing. Because the reason why back in September he was thrown in jail so soon was because he was calling Kalina from the whole Don lawsuit. That's one of the reasons why they picked him up, because they're like, okay, well, he's trying to impede on this, so let's go ahead and pick him up. He don't need to be out here. Dame Dash knew all of Aaliyah stuff. Yeah. And Dame said he never liked R. Kelly. Yeah. That was a strain on him and Jay-Z's relationship. Right, Quentin. That was the reason. Yeah. Oh, and also too, they said when Cassie did her lawsuit, he was calling people as well. So every time he gets a lawsuit, he's calling people all like, "Hey, we good? I just want to check on you." Blah blah blah. He's paying them off, and yeah, so that's why they were like, "Okay, yeah, we got to get you up out of here." Jag screaming cruelty-free artistry. Oh, the cruelest person saying cruelty-free artistry. Yeah. I hope some former employees will testify. I definitely think so. Yeah. After he screamed in Shaka Khan's face. Oh yeah. It was it her son who told that story? I remember that. Right, that's why they're getting her out the way now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot going on, you guys. Where is Gina? We don't know. We still don't know if Gina's gonna talk or Gina's gonna keep her mouth shut. We still don't know. Oh, her daughter told it. Thank you. Okay, that's what it was. He was trying to fight the son. That's what it was. And the daughter told it. Okay. Kalina didn't care. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I hope they also show the receipts that show that he was paying people off. I know he paid a lot of people in cash, but at least like the ATM deposits and stuff like that. And I know also too today, that's why they were saying like, oh, who paid the escorts? And Cassie said it was Diddy. Diddy would, or he would have security have the wad of cash to pay the person and all this other stuff. Like I said, the shit that was said in court, I feel like we're all scarred, but definitely Cassie is scarred for life. Yeah. The urination, the stuff that he would have her do, and the most gross. Put your kids to bed real quick while I say this. Put your kids to bed. 30 seconds. So Cassie told when the dudes would finish off on her, right? She would have to then run in the next room and then smear the guy's juices on his nipples. Diddy, you a freaky ass nigga. That is disgusting. Oh my god. Oh no. What? You made her do what? And then knowing that if the guys couldn't perform, they wouldn't pay them. Oh no. Whether I perform or not, you paying me. Nigga, you giving me some cash or something. And again, if you see a dude in the room with a goddamn bandana and sunglasses, you know, just like this, in the corner looking at you beating his dick, yeah, of course you're not going to be able to perform because that's fucking weird. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get hard or erection because you in the corner looking like a fucking weirdo. What? What? Diddy. Nasty mother. Oh, ugh. Listen, whatever the settlement that Cassie got, she deserved it. I still stand on that. Whatever the settlement was, she deserved that money. Because that is nasty. Oh my God. You freaky ass ninja. He is 69 God. Like, what? And then I just don't see if Diddy liked all this stuff, why didn't he just Why didn't he just get a boyfriend? You could have just got you a boy, cut the middleman out and just get you a boyfriend. Or if you just wanted to see big dicks, just go watch you some porn. You didn't have to do this. But again, it's this whole pain. A part of paying for sex is a part of the foreplay. I can't explain it to you guys because I don't pay for it. I can't explain it to you because myself, I don't do that. But the paying for it is a part of the foreplay and the arousal and stuff. So it's very weird, you know. It's weird, but it's a part of it. That's how they get down. Mm. Yeah. And I think, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying with Cassie. I feel like it doesn't really help her case because they would ask, like, did you want to do that? And she would just say, no, I didn't want to do it, but I wanted to do it to please him. Okay, well, sometimes we do things in relationships that we don't like to appease somebody, but I feel like they were probably waiting for Cassie to say, were you forced to do X, Y, and Z? Did he force you? Like, why did you feel scared? Did you think he was going to hurt you? Or did you feel like he was going to, you know, K you? Like, I felt like that should have been stressed more because it's almost like, well, I had the choice to say no, but I decided to do it because I just wanted to appease him. And that's why I feel like it's getting a little scary. Because the defense is going to bring that up. What I'm saying right now, the defense is going to be, so you had a choice, right? You had a choice on whether or not you wanted. Well, what did he say to make you feel like you were afraid? And they're going after these questions. Y'all can be mad at me all you want to, but they're coming up. I promise you, they're going to ask these questions. Now, Ethan, I don't know why or who told you this. AT2, somebody said you was in Reno dressed like the little rascals trying to get that bank loan, trying to buy a Bucci cat. I don't know, Ethan, why you would ever be in my chat saying that or why you even brought that up. I don't know if it was your funky ass daddy who was in Reno. I might have seen your funky ass daddy on the corner begging for spare change because there's a lot of homeless people in Reno. I might have seen your daddy on some, block somewhere asking for spare change. But yeah, get your weird ass up out of here. Bring that fuck shit over here. That's stupid. It's 11:20 at night. Don't bring your funk ass over here. You better mind your goddamn business and leave me the fuck alone. And if I was, it would be my business. Shit. Which I wasn't, you guys, but hey, whatever the people say is what they say. Anyway, this is when you lose it. It's funny because like I probably would have ignored that. We already coming to the end of the show, so I didn't mind. I probably would have ignored that, but I'm all like, now don't bring your funk ass over here. Like we was having a good time. I mean, I don't want to say good time because it's a hard topic that we're talking about, but we was peaceful over here, and then you gonna bring that energy over here. Like, don't come over here with fuck shit, Yeah, see, they're gonna cross and trust me, that's gonna be hard because basically Diddy is fighting for his life and he's paying his lawyers a lot of money. They're gonna come swinging. Whatever I said is minuscule. Like, they are going to come swinging hard. I'm telling you, it ain't going to be no joke. Yeah, they're going to grill her. Right. From hearing Cassie's testimony, do you think Kim's book was fake? Yes, I do think that the book was fake. Yeah, no, I stand on that. Yeah. Unless I see Chris Todd, aka White Jamal, on the stand, I'm still in the belief that it was fake. Yeah. We talking about Sirius and right. Fabulous face. I'm all like, now don't bring your funk ass over here talking that bull. Now, why the hell would you come over here? We was having a good time, and then you knew you was gonna get cussed out. Why? AT2, you always cussing people out. Well, because they say shit like that. That's why they get cussed out. Damn it. Oh my god. Your ass would be so professional than one crazy comment. They love seeing my reaction. That's why they come over here saying stupid shit. They love seeing my reaction. They know, like, the other people, they be like, oh, just block them. No. I'm going to cuss your ass out. I'm going to display you so everybody see your funk ass up here acting stupid, and then I'm going to block you. I'm going to make sure I give you what you want. You know? But anyway, you guys, that was my recap of day 2. Let me know what you guys think about, Cassie. Do you think they're making a strong argument or not? I would love to chat with you guys in the comment section. Please hit that like button. And shout out to Addicted. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Anybody who Cash App, PayPal, Venmo me after the show, I always thank you. So I appreciate you. Love y'all. Good night. We out.